This is my 2018 Ford F-150, which I purchased right about a year ago. It's not the truck I envisioned myself buying, but I've discovered that it's the perfect truck for my needs, and in this video I'm going to explain why. So before we get into my ownership experience, I first want to touch on the truck itself, kind of the specification, and just a little bit of backstory. So I actually purchased this truck from my dad, like I said, right about a year ago. He ordered it brand new in 2018, so it's kind of cool that I now have it. It has a little bit of sentimental value. So this truck is an XL, but it has quite a few options for an XL. It has the chrome appearance package, so it has the chrome bumpers, it has the alloy wheels, it has carpet instead of like the hard vinyl floor. And most of the regular cab F-150s are Oxford white, but as you can see, this one is not. It is blue jeans metallic, which is kind of a cool color, and it just sets it apart a little bit from a lot of the white work truck regular cabs out there. It does have the 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6, and it is two-wheel drive. Now, I've done a few upgrades, nothing major, but just a few little things here and there to kind of give it my own personal touch, and just kind of going for an OEM plus look as I typically do with my vehicles. So first off, we'll start in the back here. I added the Rough Country rear wheel well liners. They were about half the price of the Ford accessory ones, but the fitment isn't super great. But anyway, I just added those to kind of help protect the bed and just make it look a little bit nicer. I also had a leveling kit put on. So the two-wheel drive trucks have shorter struts and they don't have a rear block. So it doesn't look particularly high up, but it is pretty close to level. The front is a hair shorter than the back. And that's pretty much how I wanted it. I also added the Raptor style lights in the grille. And then lastly, just threw on a shorty antenna because I hate how the stock antenna flings on the garage door every time I go in and out of the garage. Last fall, I did a one-step polish on the truck with Sonex cut and finish. And then I applied a ceramic coating. So the paint is coated with Geon Pure Evo, and most of the black plastic trim is coated with Ammo Frame Pro. And in the sunlight, when it's clean, it just looks so good. I'm just super happy with the way it turned out. So moving on to the interior, it is like a two-tone, like an off blackish and gray. I don't know the exact color names, but anyway, it's just a very basic yet functional interior, which is kind of perfect for this spec of truck. On the center console, this cutout is almost the perfect size for my iPhone 15 Pro Max. The cup holders can actually stow in the seat bottom, and so the seat bottom will flip up and there's storage in there. Windows are nice and large, and it's just a very functional interior. So under the hood, it has the 2.7 liter twin turbo V6, and it's a pretty great engine. I wish it was a 5.0, but honestly, this thing is great, and I'm just glad that it has some sort of upgraded engine over the base 3.3 liter. Makes 325 horse and right about 400 foot-pounds of torque, and it's paired to the 10R80 10-speed automatic. And one of my favorite features of the F-150 is the remote start. So it doesn't actually have a start button on the key fob. It was added like as an accessory after the truck was purchased. But there's a button sequence that you can do on the key fob. So if you lock, unlock, then lock, the truck will start. Makes it really great in the winter or even in the summer when you just want to cool down the interior. Half-ton trucks have gotten so big. But it's kind of refreshing to have a smaller configuration like this. And I think in comparison to some of the other trucks out there, the F-150 is maybe a hair more car-like to drive. And what I mean by that is the steering is relatively responsive, and like all the major controls are light and easy to use. And with it being shorter like this, it's relatively easy to maneuver around parking lots, and it fits in my garage. And it's just a nice size of a vehicle. It's pretty tall, so that can make it a little challenging to get stuff in and out of the bed. But as far as like the length and width, I think this is a good size of pickup truck. In terms of the engine and trans, I think the 2.7 liter is a really good fit for this truck. It gets decent fuel economy, yet it still has great performance. I mean, this thing is pretty quick for a pickup truck, and I don't really ever haul anything big with it, but I have the confidence that I could if I needed to. For the most part, I enjoy the 10-speed automatic. Having that many gears to pick from really does help keep the engine in its power band most of the time when you're accelerating. Also, having those higher gears does keep the RPM low when you're cruising, which helps in terms of fuel economy. I really only have a couple major complaints about this truck, so I do have some kind of mixed feelings about the trans. It's great most of the time, like I said, but when it's cold, it's kind of hard shifting, and it will actually slip going into gears sometimes. Once things start to warm up, it smooths out. It's mainly just when it's cold. Also, the ride is pretty hard, and I can attribute that mostly to the fact that this is a relatively short half-ton truck, and so you just feel those bumps in the road a lot more so than you would in like a longer, larger configuration. Also, it's relatively light, and if you put weight in the back, it does kind of smooth out the ride. But with nothing back there, it's pretty stiff most of the time. Overall, I really like this truck, and I've enjoyed owning it for the past year, and I see myself having it for several years to come. I don't really have any reason to get rid of it anytime soon. It does everything I want it to do, and I think it'll last quite a while. It currently has 62,000 miles. I bought it with 58, so I don't drive it a ton, but it's nice to have a vehicle like this that I can use when I need to haul something. So anyway, there was my quick review of my experience with the 2018 F-150 XL.